Hey, I am going to bet that you want to be used greatly by the Lord. And so today I want to give you a secret to spiritual success. And to do that, I want to look at China. If you look at China today, what do you see? There's a massive, healthy church. The churches no one really knows, but 150, 200 million Christians. And it's a vibrant church. They're sending out missionaries all over the world. But all that success happened under persecution, and that church was built on the bones and the blood of tens of thousands of leaders that were crushed, tortured, imprisoned, and murdered by the communist authorities. Now, one of those was Watchman Nee. He was one of the biggest, and I want to tell you his story. So Watchman Nee was born to a very godly woman, and she was a Hannah. She gave him over to the Lord when he was born, and she devoted him to the Lord. At 17, he comes to Christ very powerfully. He's gripped by this desire to share the gospel and to reach many. And so he begins to witness to his classmates, and there's 71 classmates, okay? And he has very little success. And so what does he do? So he learns, and he's listening to the Lord. He's like, what do I do, Father? And he goes back and he makes a list of 70 of them, and he goes one by one, but he starts by petitioning the Lord, asking the Lord to go visit him, to touch them before he goes and shares the gospel with them. So guess what happens? Out of 71 classmates, 70 of them come to Christ. And there is the beginning, there is the birth of a great Chinese Christian leader. He goes on to become a very prominent leader in China. He builds a massive movement of Christians. Now, when the communists took over China, most of his church movement, at least the leadership, fled to Taiwan. And that was by design. The church must go on. We're going to keep building, but we're going to build from Taiwan. And all of his lieutenants were pleading with him to come to safety with them. And here's what he said. He said, look, if a house was burning down, what mother would not run back into the flames to rescue her children? This was the heart of Watchman Nee. I am sure he knew he was going to pay a heavy price. That's why there's that quote about the burning house. He knows he is rushing into a burning house. But I don't think he realized that he was going to spend the next 20 years in prison and that he would die there. And it was 20 years of unending boredom, mind-numbing boredom, horrible pain from continual torture, and always with the offer for it to stop if he would simply turn away from Jesus and stop being a Christian leader. He could have stopped at any time. He could have gone free, and he never did. The communists were intent on strangling the church, and they put Watchman Nee in a grave so deep down in the earth that he would be forgotten. And they thought that would be the win, that he would be forgotten and he would die in obscurity. And in 1972, he did die. June 1st, 1972, he's found dead in his cell. And I'm sure the communists rejoiced, and they said, we are well on our way to strangling the church. Well, we fast forward to modern day China, and what do we see? Well, first of all, those 100,000 Christians he left behind, if you could measure them, his progeny, his spiritual grandchildren have grown to the millions. Now, not only that, but the people he has touched through his writings are in the tens of millions around the world. He is an amazing, deep Christian leader, and if you're intent on growing as a Christian, you need to read Watchman Nee and study him, and I'll give you a list of his books. So finally, there's a couple lessons we can draw from his life, and I want to throw these out to you. And the first one is that, look, if you're intent on serving God, of giving him your life and working through him, whether you're in ministry or not, just that's what you want your life to be about, you are going to be opposed. You wear the wrong uniform. You're in a war, and you wear the wrong uniform. So Satan is going to attempt to bury you down in a prison. And it's not a prison with bars, a prison of health, through anxiety, through worries, through struggle, relational pain, financial pain, etc. He's going to oppose you because of the uniform you wear. So don't take it personally. It's got to come if you're effective. And the second one is this. Look at Acts 16:25, and that is to sing out from your prison cell. Whatever your prison cell is, sing out, find the joy of the Lord, thank him for your circumstances, and that is such a witness to all around you. They'll know you're suffering, but they'll see what's inside you, and it'll touch many, and they'll be drawn to you. So lesson number 3 is this, and that is that to really live, we have to die. Our outer man has to die so that we get more of him. We call out, we're desperate, we call out for more of him for life, and that life will flow through us in ministry. And the last lesson is this: do not die in your prison cell of discouragement and pain. When Watchman Nee died, there was no family to pick him up. No one even picked up his body. He was cremated. And the communist leaders, I'm sure, thought they are well on their way to strangling the church. But here's what happened. All his followers in China, at the time of his imprisonment, 100,000, he had poured deeply into, he had transformed their lives. Those 100,000 became millions and built the church. And furthermore, his message, and especially his books, some of them written in prison, went out to the whole world. He touched millions. So remember, our success is measured by what we pour out to God. And the last lesson from Watchman Nee is that whoever suffers most has the most to share. God bless you.